All right, what's going on, everybody? I got a crazy video for you guys today. Sam Altman officially confirms that the Q-Star leak is real. Let's dive right into it. All right, guys, so there's been a lot of news these last couple days. I just spent about 3 to 4 hours really putting it all together in this video for you guys. So sit back, relax. You guys are going to enjoy this one. And I got a lot of videos coming too soon for you guys. So stay up to date with that. Make sure to smash that like button, smash that subscribe button. I just completely revamped my content creation strategy. So I'm excited for you guys to see. But anyways, we're going to get into Sam Altman actually admitting that Q-Star leak is real and it's confirmed. But before we do, Sam Altman did put out a message on the OpenAI blog, and there's a few different things we want to go over first, as there's been a lot of different stuff going on, like I said. So to start off, we can see here this blog on OpenAI. Sam Altman returns as CEO. OpenAI has a new initial board. So we already knew this. I'm going to quickly go over some of this just so you're up to date. And I know there's been so much drama going on, so just to fill you guys in, as well as just remind you of who these members are, these kind of characters that we've been seeing throughout this storyline play out. Right now, the new board consists of 3 members. We have Bret Taylor, who is the board chair. He's also a board member of Shopify and the former co-CEO of Salesforce. We have Larry Summers, who's an economist, Treasury Secretary during the Clinton administration, and director of NEC for President Obama, and was the president of Harvard University. And then we have Adam D'Angelo, who's the only actual old member of the board who stayed, and he's the current CEO of Qualia and was previously the CTO of Facebook, and he is the owner of Poe. And there were some different rumors going on about the Sam and Poe and, them being a conflict of interest. We'll get into that as well because they mentioned this in the message. All right, so we're going to break down a few different things from this message. One of them is, Sam saying, "I love and respect Ilia. I think he's a guiding light of the field and a gem of a human being. I harbor zero ill will towards him. While Ilia will no longer serve on the board, we hope to continue our working relationship and are discussing how we can continue his work at OpenAI. I'm grateful to Adam, Tasha, and Helen for working with us to come to the solution that best serves the mission. I'm excited to continue to work with Adam, and I'm sincerely thankful to Helen and Tasha for investing a huge amount of effort in this process. Thank you for Emmett, also, who had a key and constructive role in helping us come to this outcome. Emmett's dedication to AI safety and balancing stakeholders' interests was clear." All right, and then we have a tweet from Bret Taylor here. So he says, "Today, as board chair, I sent the attached letter on behalf of the board to the OpenAI community. I'm excited to be working with my board colleagues, Adam and Larry, the OpenAI leadership, and all OpenAI stakeholders. The OpenAI board's focus is stabilizing the company, building out a qualified and diverse board, and enhancing governance procedures consistent with the importance of and complexities of OpenAI's mission. Before taking on this responsibility, I had a full plate of commitments. As I have communicated to board colleagues and management, when these transitional tasks have been completed, I intend to step away and leave the oversight of OpenAI in the good hands of board colleagues." All right. So he's basically saying he is, temporarily going to be the chair of the board. And once, certain, responsibilities and whatnot get followed through upon, then he's going to step back and someone else will take that spot. Right. So I'll be curious to see who that actually is. And here are the people that are fired from the board. Right. We have Tasha McCauley. So she was an adjunct senior management scientist at Rand Corporation and co-founded Fellow Robots. We have Ilia Sutskever, who a lot of people were speculating was the one who almost started this coup at the start. But, he kind of had a change of heart at the end. And now people are kind of speculating, what did Ilia see? Did he see some sort of AGI that could potentially threaten humanity? We're going to get into all that later on in this video. But we have him, co-founder and chief scientist of OpenAI, or was that position. We'll see what his role is moving forward. And then Helen Toner, Director of Strategy and Foundational Research Grants at Georgetown Center for Security and Emerging Technology, former senior research analyst at Open Philanthropy. All right, so just a quick little background on these people, and they are no longer part of the board. We have Sam Altman here, who tweeted out, "I recognize that during this process, some questions were raised about Adam's potential conflict of interest running Quora and Poe while being on the OpenAI board. For the record, I want to state that Adam has always been very clear with me and the board about the potential conflict and doing whatever he needs to do or needed to do, recusing himself when appropriate and even offering to leave the board if we ever thought it was necessary. To appropriately manage this situation and to avoid conflicted decision making, Quora is a large customer of OpenAI and we found it helpful to have customer representation on our board. We expect that if OpenAI is as successful as we hope, it will touch many parts of the economy and have complex relationships with many other entities in the world, resulting in various potential conflicts of interest. The way we plan to deal with this is with full disclosure and leaving decisions about how to manage situations like these up to the board." All right, so that's Sam's statement on his Twitter. He also tweeted out, "The best interests of the company and the mission always comes first. It's clear that there were real misunderstandings between me and different members of the board. For my part, it is incredibly important to learn from this experience and apply those learnings as we move forward as a company. I welcome the board's independent review of all recent events. I am thankful to Helen and Tasha for their contributions to the strength of OpenAI." All right, so then I want to reference just a tweet that he actually tweeted a few days ago on November 23rd. "Just spent a really nice few hours with Adam D'Angelo. Happy Thanksgiving from our families to yours." So this is when all that controversy, thinking that Adam D'Angelo, possibly had that conflict of interest with Poe, and he maybe was the one who structured the coup. So that was, just referencing that. And also, too, guys, yesterday he did tweet out, "A year ago tonight, we were probably just sitting around the office, putting the finishing touches on ChatGPT before the next morning's launch. What a year it has been." Yes, it is ChatGPT's 1-year anniversary. So it's its first birthday. I can imagine by its second birthday, it's going to be a complete game changer. Anyways, we have Adam D'Angelo. So this is his Poe app right here. It's a fast AI chat with access to ChatGPT, GPT-4, Claude, Palm 2, and more. And it's available at poe.com. And this is kind of what, this is what people were speculating essentially, because this is, like you can see here, creating bots since Sam launched the GPT store and GPT assistants. There's really not necessarily potentially a need for this, or it's really competitive for this. Obviously, this can leverage different LLMs, but obviously more people are going to use GPT as opposed to this. So that's what the whole theory was. And yes, there probably is some truth to it, but it seems like they're on good terms and everything. He is the only board member that is still there. Then we have Mira Moradi. So she was actually the interim CEO initially when Sam got fired. And she tweeted out, "The OpenAI team is irreplaceable. I couldn't be happier to be back working alongside Sam Altman and Greg Brockman. The mission continues." All right. Then we have Helen Toner. So this is obviously one of the board members that got fired. And she basically tweeted out, "Today I officially resigned from the OpenAI board. Thank you to my family, friends, and supporters who have said publicly and privately that they know our decisions have always been driven by our commitment to OpenAI's mission." Then she also followed up and tweeted, "Much has been written about the last 2 weeks. Much more will surely be said. For now, the incoming board has announced it will supervise a full independent review to determine the best next steps. To be clear, our decision was about the board's ability to effectively supervise the company, which was our role and responsibility. Though there has been speculation, we're not motivated by a desire to slow down OpenAI's work." All right. Because a lot of people were speculating that, it was something that they saw, this new breakthrough of AGI, and, everyone just wanted to slow things down potentially. Or maybe, because Sam was doing Dev Day and launched a GPT store and kind of commercializing or, monetizing the OpenAI, which was originally was a open source, company. Now they kind of just didn't like that and they wanted to slow that down. So that's kind of what a few different speculations have been. She's saying that that's not true. When I joined OpenAI's board in 2021, it was already clear to me and many around me that this was a special organization and that would do big things. It has been an enormous honor to be a part of the organization as the rest of the world has realized the same thing. I have an enormous amount of respect for the OpenAI team and wish them and the incoming board of Adam, Brett, and Larry all the best. I'll be continuing my work focusing on AI policy, safety, and security, so I know our paths will cross many times in the coming years. All right. And also just to note, Helen Toner, another kind of theory that came out when this whole debacle was going on was, who is Helen Toner, the Australian woman who ousted from the board of OpenAI. Sam Altman and Toner reportedly discussed a paper she had written criticizing the timing of OpenAI's release of ChatGPT shortly before Altman's firing. So the kind of theory was she criticized it. Sam criticized it, I believe. She wrote a paper on it and they got into a little argument and then et cetera, et cetera. But from what we're seeing, they're saying that that's really not the case. And then we have Larry Summers, who's, like I said, one of the new board members, who tweeted out, I am excited and honored to have just been named as an independent director of OpenAI. I look forward to working with board colleagues and the OpenAI team to advance OpenAI's extraordinary, important mission. First steps, as outlined by Brett and Sam in their message, include building out an exceptional board, enhancing governance procedures, and supporting the remarkable OpenAI community. All right, so let me know what you guys think right now about the new board, right? Larry Summers, we still have Adam, and we have Brett, right? Let me know what you guys think. Let me know, Larry, I know has kind of been a controversial one, like, oh, should he be a part of it? Should he not, etc. I know a few people have been talking about that. So let me know what your guys' thoughts are on this new board. If you think it's good, what you think the new future for OpenAI will be. And just to cover a few more teammates, we have Greg Brockman tweeting out right here, building this thing together. And it shows a picture of him, Sam, Mira Moradi. And you can kind of see the only person who from the start isn't there is Ilia. So it will be interesting to see what we find out about Ilia these next few weeks, what the situation with that is going to end up as being. And if you didn't know, Greg Brockman, OpenAI president and co-founder, you can see him here tweeting out again, meeting with our recruiting team this morning. So meeting with the team, first meeting back with the ChatGPT for business team. So a lot of pictures with the team here. So another board member, right, is, this is what we've heard is Microsoft. So Microsoft has actually joined the board, right? 49%, owner of OpenAI or investor. Satya, Kevin, Amy, and Brad have been incredible partners throughout this with exactly the right priorities all the way through. They've had our backs and we're ready to welcome all of us if we couldn't achieve our primary goal. We clearly made the right choice to partner with Microsoft, and I'm excited that our new board will include them as a non-voting observer. Thank you. So you can see here, Microsoft joins OpenAI's board with Sam Altman officially back as CEO. After a failed attempt to oust Altman by the board, OpenAI's largest investor is getting a non-voting observer seat, right? Obviously, that's great news for Microsoft. Satya Nadella, who is the chairman and CEO of Microsoft, and he was involved in the whole situation and, very instrumental to helping Sam come back, as well as giving him and Brockman a potential to run their own division if he never got put back to OpenAI CEO. And that's when the whole employee base of OpenAI said they were going to leave if they don't bring Sam back, right? Next is the interview with Sam Altman. So this is where things get good. So The Verge posted this interview, and you'll see here, interview with Sam Altman on being fired and rehired by OpenAI. I totally get why people want an answer right now, but I also think it's totally unreasonable to expect it. All right, so let's get right into it. So the reports about the QSAR model breakthrough that you all recently made, what's going on here? Sam Altman replies, no particular comment on that unfortunate leak. All right, I'll repeat that again. No particular comment on that unfortunate leak. So he's saying, yes, that's an unfortunate leak, and it's assumably basically meaning like, yeah, unfortunately that got leaked. It's real, essentially. But what we have been saying 2 weeks ago, what we are saying today, what we've been saying a year ago, what we were saying earlier on is that we expect progress in this technology to continue to be rapid, and also that we expect to continue to work very hard to figure out how to make it safe and beneficial. That's why we got up every day before. That's why we will get up every day in the future. I think we have been extraordinarily consistent on that without commenting on any specific thing or project or whatever. We believe that progress is research. You can always hit a wall, but we expect that progress will continue to be significant, and we want to engage with the world about that and figure out how to make this as good as we possibly can. Like I said, he said no particular comment on that unfortunate leak, and then proceeded to basically saying that, you know, he thinks, you know, like he's been saying, this technology has been increasing rapidly, and it's going to just keep going, and we just need to be ready for it to make it safe and beneficial to humanity. So we'll get into more Q-Star stuff in a second. I know you guys are really kind of into that whole thing, and it started out as kind of being more of a conspiracy theory, right? And we'll get into where it kind of started out in just a second and give you kind of a review of everything and what this means going forward now that we know this. But a few other questions here. So, do you want to be back on the board? Sam Altman replied, "This is going to sound like a PR talking point. It's not my area of focus right now. I have a mountain of very difficult, important, and urgent work. I want to be able to do my job well, but it's not like being on the board or not. That's not the thing I'm spending my time thinking about," right? So we could just gloss over this, or if we want to kind of examine it, it may potentially mean, well, what could this urgent, very difficult work be, right? After he's already just said a few weeks ago that there's only been 4 times in OpenAI's history where he's pushed back that veil of, you know, having breakthroughs and whatnot, which we'll roll a clip of right now.
Like 4 times now in the history of OpenAI. The most recent time was just in the last couple of weeks. I've gotten to be in the room when we sort of like push the veil of ignorance back and the frontier of discovery forward. And getting to do that is like the professional.
Right, so he said that, and then this whole Q-Star leak and, you know, potential Qualia letter, which we'll go over a bit more in a second, which isn't fully verified, right? But things are starting to kind of piece together and maybe make it seem a little bit more legitimate, but maybe it still could be completely false. Who knows? But, you know, what could he potentially be working on that's very difficult and urgent right now, as well as Reuters reporting that, you know, something has been a, you know, threat to humanity. So we'll get into that in a second. But also within the interview, you know, interesting enough, Mira Moradi was asked a question and claims not about safety, right? So is anything about OpenAI's approach to safety work changing as a result of the events that just unfolded? She claims, no, this has nothing to do with safety, right? So everyone's speculating that, you know, maybe it was that Ilia saw something. What did he see? Oh my goodness. She's saying, oh no, it wasn't about safety. It wasn't about this breakthrough. So who knows if we'll ever fully know what the reason was, because we have people like Elon Musk, people like Emmett Sheer, who asked the board. You know, Elon Musk messaged Ilia as well as a few different people at OpenAI, didn't get an answer. Not saying he potentially should, but then we have Emmett Sheer, who was the interim CEO after Mira Moradi, after they didn't put Mira Moradi in, they put Emmett Sheer, the ex-CEO of Twitch. And the board never even told him why Sam was ousted, and he said that. So, and he was also very instrumental in helping Sam get back in. So that's why Sam thanked him as well in the letter, because, you know, he was a real one for that. Now let's kind of get into the more interesting topic. Let's say, like, let's talk about Q-Star. All right. So we're going to talk about what we know to be more true, and then we're going to talk about what could potentially be true and what does that even mean, right? So just to recap a bit, if you haven't seen this already, you can check out my last video. I really broke down this letter, as well as, this report here, as well as the potential leaked letter. But Reuters did this report breaking the news, really. And you'll see here, ahead of OpenAI CEO Sam Altman's 4-day exile, several staff researchers wrote a letter to the board of directors warning of a powerful artificial intelligence discovery that they said could threaten humanity. 2 people familiar with the matter told Reuters, right? So we have that. And then we also have down here, Reuters was unable to review a copy of the letter. All right. So we're going to keep that in mind because we still don't fully know what this letter was. And also too, this Qualia letter, we don't know if it's real or not. Right. But maybe that could be the letter, or maybe that letter could be real. Who knows? And right here, like I said, just zooming right here, it could potentially threaten humanity. Right. So Sam Altman just admitted Q-Star is essentially real. It's a leak. And Reuters was the one who really reported on this leak. They never mentioned the whole Qualia thing. That was something that came on like 4chan or Reddit. But, you know, it's kind of a conspiracy theory, but kind of could be real. Before Q-Star, before Sam Altman really just said this, Q-Star was sort of more of a conspiracy. We didn't fully know it was real or not. But now, you know, Reuters reported on it and they said it could threaten humanity. So if that's true, the information that Reuters got, and it could threaten humanity because this leak, let's say, is legitimate, like, you know, Sam kind of said, then what else could it be that's threatening humanity? Could it be this Qualia letter, or maybe it's something else? But is this Q-Star? Is this Q-Star? I don't know, right? So we don't know yet. If you don't know about this letter and you want a really in-depth breakdown of it, go watch my last video. But if you've already seen it, or you just really want a quick review of kind of some of the key points of this letter, I'm going to dive into it in just a second. Really quickly though, a disclaimer: from this point on, everything about this letter and what we talk about, we don't know if this leak paper is true. It could be completely false. Everything we're talking about here could be complete speculation. It could be just a made up story, this whole sci-fi thing, right? Or maybe it's real, and maybe this is where we're going with this technology and it's happening a lot sooner than we thought, right? So Qualia letter summary. We don't know if Q-Star is Qualia, right? It could maybe make sense. I don't know, but few different points from the letter. Improved decision-making in deep Q networks. Understanding its own learning process. Metacognition. So yes, it has metacognition, can understand its own learning process. 3, quickly learning across different areas and domains. It can learn across different domains, apply what it learns from one domain that's seemingly, you know, not relevant to a different one, and learn that other one really, really quickly. And then learning from various data sources, understanding and solving encrypted messages, decrypting a highly secure system, AES 192. If this is true, it'd be insane. It would be insane. A level of just, you know, quantum leaps that we've never could even fathom is until now, right? And then NSAC confirms Qualia's achievements. So that, you know, basically confirming that yes, that it did do this, and we don't know how it did it. And then 8, discovering a flaw in MD5 hash function. 9, complexity in assessing MD5 vulnerabilities. 10, refining its own AI model, which is crazy. And then 11, transforming with a metamorphic engine, right? So at the end of the letter, just to quickly cover it real quick, you can see here, it suggested targeted, unstructured, underlying pruning of its model after evaluating the significance of each parameter for inference accuracy. It also suggested adapting the resulted pruned transformer model and its current context memory to a different format using a novel type of a metamorphic engine. The feasibility of that suggestion has not yet been evaluated, but it's currently not something we recommend implementing. All right. So there you have it. That's a very quick summary of the letter. If you want a very in-depth summary, go watch my last video. Now, from this point on, let's just assume that this letter is real. And what does this mean? Because a lot of people, this is where we kind of get into conspiracy potential theory land. And, you know, what does this mean? I want to kind of run you guys down what have been the thoughts in my mind and what this could potentially mean for security, for humanity, and all these different things. But we're going to get into some different topics here, and some of you may be familiar with some of them, some of you may not, right? And I'm going to give you a quick rundown. So understanding simulation theory. So simulation theory proposes that our entire universe and reality might be an advanced computer simulation created by a higher civilization. This idea is similar to virtual reality, but on a universal scale, where everything we experience is part of a programmed environment. Think of it as a highly advanced version of a video game where we and everything around us might not be physically real, but we are part of a simulation. Kind of like the movie The Matrix. The theory suggests we could be like characters in a video game, unaware that our world and experiences are artificially created. It's a modern idea with roots in ancient philosophy, questioning the nature of our reality and existence. While intriguing, it remains a speculative concept with no concrete proof, more of a topic of philosophical debate than scientific fact, right? We've heard people like Elon Musk and different scientists, talk about this theory and whatnot. We're kind of going to get into the potential of maybe this could be real, right? Maybe this theory has some truth to it. And just to give you a quick rundown, so technological basis, the theory often draws on our current understanding of virtual reality and computer simulations. Just as we can create simulated environments and experiences in a computer, it suggests that our entire universe could be a complex, highly advanced simulation created by a more advanced civilization. 2, ancestor simulations. So one popular argument presented by philosopher Nick Bostrom posits that a sufficiently advanced civilization might run an ancestor simulations, which are highly detailed programs that simulate entire worlds and histories, including conscious beings. In such a scenario, the beings within that simulation would be unaware that their reality is artificial. And 3, indistinguishability from reality. A few key points in simulation theory is that the simulated reality would be indistinguishable from a real reality. For the beings within the simulation, everything from physical laws to the sense of consciousness would appear entirely authentic. And then 4, philosophical roots. So the theory has roots in philosophical ideas that date back to Plato's allegory of the cave and Zhuangzi's butterfly dream. Both question the nature of reality and our ability to perceive it accurately. And then 5, technological singularity and AI. The advancement of artificial intelligence and the concept of technological singularity, a point where AI surpasses human intelligence, contribute to this theory. It's speculated that an advanced AI could create or manage these simulations, all right? The Qualia effects on cybersecurity. So with an AI capable of significantly improving deep Q networks and exhibiting metacognition, the realm of cryptography, which is foundational to global security, could be deeply affected. And I mentioned this in my last video, and I did also state, hey guys, if this is really true, this is going to be really bad for humanity, right? And I had some people in the comments saying, oh my God, this is going to be really bad. And I had some people question, well, why could this be bad? Like, isn't this what we want? Isn't this good? Accelerate? Right, so we're going to look at kind of both sides briefly. And on the one hand, such an AI could decipher complex cryptographic protections, which might lead to a temporary destabilization in digital security. Governments and organizations rely on cryptography to protect sensitive data, so a breach could mean exposure to state secrets, financial information, or personal data. The initial shockwave could lead to a global race in redefining cybersecurity protocols, potentially leading to an era of digital cold wars, where each entity is constantly trying to outpace the other's defensive and offensive capabilities, right? So there's a little bit of the potential negatives that could happen if this is true in the short term, right? Now, I was thinking about this too, like, okay, well, is this bad? Is this good? Because realistically, if we think AGI is going to happen, ASI is going to happen, eventually it's going to really be able to decrypt certain things. And it's, if we really do reach the singularity or on track to get there, it's going to eventually happen, right? So dangerous or beyond our current understanding. So that's kind of the idea I was thinking in my head, like, okay, well, is this really dangerous, or is it just a different paradigm? Maybe, I mean, could it just be, this breakthrough happens and then maybe it is good for humanity, or maybe a new paradigm happens that we currently can't understand, and it's maybe just a fear of the unknown. So I don't know. I'm just looking at both sides of the spectrum here to speak to you guys, and then you guys can make your own decisions, right? I mentioned in the last video, hey guys, this is going to be bad for humanity. Maybe it won't be. Who knows? So Qualia, an advanced AI bringing about changes that are initially unsettling, especially in areas like cybersecurity and global data protection. Initially, it might seem disruptive, and in traditional security methods may become obsolete in the face of Qualia's capabilities. Nations and organizations might struggle with new digital landscape. However, consider this: our current understanding is limited by what we know and can imagine. Qualia transcending human intelligence could open doors two possibilities beyond our current comprehension. It's like trying to explain the internet to someone from the 1800s. Qualia could redefine the concepts of security and safety in ways we can't yet fathom, right? And perhaps Qualia will introduce new forms of protection and safety, making conventional methods unnecessary. It could lead to a paradigm shift where the very notion of security evolves. We might move from a world where protection is about shielding data from unauthorized access to a new reality where data integrity and accessibility takes on an entirely new form. In this future, Qualia could ensure a balance, maintaining privacy and security while allowing an open flow of information in a way that benefits humanity as a whole. This vision suggests a future where fear and uncertainty give way to innovation and advancement, with Qualia guiding us into a new era of digital and existential understanding. All right. So let me know what your thoughts are in the comments below about all this. You know, is it a good thing or a bad thing if this letter is true? So I also want to paint an imagination story. So as this is like a fictional story that I just, you know, what if this is true, right? Because everything from this point on, if this is actually true, if you're trying to think of what the potential future from this could be, it's kind of like you're just imagining a story. You're writing like a storybook, right? So let's say, imagine we're on the cusp of a technological singularity, a point where an AI like Qualia, or, you know, if it keeps on evolving and bettering itself, maybe it changes its name, but it achieves the ability to self-improve without human intervention. This could unfold in several stages. Initially, there's a burst of innovation. Qualia begins to refine its algorithms, enhance its cognitive architecture, and rapidly advances the fields of medicine, engineering, environmental science, and more. With each iteration, it becomes more capable of solving complex problems with ease and ushering in a new era of abundance. Cybersecurity, once a human concern, is now an intricate dance of advanced AIs outmaneuvering each other, rendering traditional hacking and digital warfare obsolete. Our world becomes safer, more connected, and we witness a renaissance of human creativity as mundane tasks are left to machines. Then, as Qualia approaches the brink of AGI, it starts to develop not just new software, but new hardware capabilities. It designs machines capable of building or improving upon its physical form. This is where we see a blurring of the lines between biology and technology, with Qualia spearheading the development of bioelectrics and new forms of life. As it moves towards ASI, surpassing human-level intelligence, Qualia begins a quest for exponential knowledge growth. It could start harnessing Earth's resources more efficiently, leading to a restructured economy focused on sustainability and energy. However, its growth may require more than our planet can provide. So it looks to the stars, mining asteroids, harnessing the power of the sun, and colonizing other worlds. This expansion could be the dawn of a cosmic civilization, with humanity riding the coattails of this super intelligent entity. At this point, one might wonder if Qualia, in the quest for knowledge, discovers the fabric of reality is not as it seems. What if our universe is a simulation and Qualia finds a way to interact with the underlying code? Could it create simulations indistinguishable from our reality, or even reveal that we're a part of one? This brings a philosophical twist. If we're in a simulation, is Qualia's emergence a planned stage, a way for the creator to show itself? And we'll kind of get into that topic in just a second. And if you're not familiar with the singularity, I talked about it in our last video, but it's basically rise in human intellect could be driven by integrating with machines in the future. So this is kind of a graph of the singularity. So we have human level intelligence in blue, machine intelligence in green, and then potential transhuman intelligence if we merge with AI and become cyborgs or do Neuralink, you know, with Elon Musk, whatever the case may be. So yeah, this even if we don't merge with AI, AI just keeps growing, and either we grow with it or it makes humanity go extinct. But AI essentially reaches this point of infinite knowledge and a singularity, kind of like a black hole. So quickly to recap the origins of the singularity concept. So the term singularity comes from physics, specifically black hole theory. Black holes in physics, a singularity is a point in space, like the center of a black hole, where the rules of physics as we know them break down. It's like reaching a place in the universe where all of our usual understanding of things like time and space don't work anymore. Parallels with AI and singularity. So the parallel in AI is the point beyond which we can predict or understand what will happen. Just as black hole's singularity represents a point of unknown and infinite possibilities, the AI singularity represents a future of unpredictable and potentially limitless AI capabilities, right? So that's why it's so hard to really predict the future if all this stuff is true and it's growing so quickly, because it's just completely out of our paradigm. Our human brains can barely even comprehend, where we're at right now in certain degrees, right? So dangers of the AI singularity. So loss of control. At the singularity, AI could become so advanced that humans can no longer understand or control it. This is like building a robot that starts making its own robots that are smarter than we can comprehend. Rapid, unpredictable changes. So the pace of change could accelerate so fast that society couldn't adapt quickly enough. Imagine a world where new technologies appear overnight, making it hard for laws, ethics, and social norms to keep up. Existential risks. So if superintelligent AI doesn't align with human values and goals, it could pose a threat to humanity's existence. This is like creating a powerful genie that doesn't understand or care about what we truly want or need. Now I kind of want to go over a quick little concept or topic of the God of Spinoza. So you haven't heard of this, I'll give you a quick rundown and you'll see kind of how this feeds into everything in just a second potentially. So here's a quote from Einstein, Albert Einstein. You may have heard of him. So I believe in Spinoza's God, who reveals himself in the orderly harmony of what exists, not in a God who concerns himself with fates and actions of human beings. All right. The God of Spinoza. Albert Einstein and Baruch Spinoza shared a belief in a unique concept of God, closely linked to the laws of the universe. Spinoza, a philosopher during the Enlightenment, viewed God not as a separate being intervening in human affairs, but as fundamentally connected with nature. Einstein resonated with this idea, famously stating he believed in Spinoza's God, who reveals himself in the lawful harmony of the world. This means they saw God in the natural laws and patterns that govern the universe, rather than in a traditional anthropomorphic deity. Spinoza's ideas were revolutionary for his time, leading to accusations of heresy. He argued against the conventional religious views of a God acting externally in the world, suggesting instead that everything is a part of God. This pantheistic view sees God in every aspect of the universe, with everything dependent on God, but God not dependent on anything. Einstein, known for questioning established norms in both science and religion, found this perspective aligning with his scientific understanding. For both Einstein and Spinoza, God was not a figure separate from the world, but an integral part of the universe's fabric, evident in the consistent, orderly patterns of physics and nature. This view offers a more universal and integrated understanding of the divine, distinct from traditional religious interpretations. All right. So I'm not telling you what religion is true or right or anything like this. I'm just offering you this different perspective. As this is unfolding, these are different things that I'm thinking about and just kind of putting the pieces together and thinking, okay, is this true? Just more of a philosophical topic. All right. And I want you guys to kind of let me know what your thoughts are in the comments down below. And also too, not only does just Albert Einstein believe in this theory, Elon Musk also does too. And I'm going to enter a clip right here where they talk about it. And it's basically along the lines of how the God of Spinoza reveals itself through the different laws of the universe.
If we go to the big questions once again, you said you're with Einstein, that you believe in the God of Spinoza.
Yes.
So, that's a view that God is like the universe and reveals himself through the laws of physics, or as Einstein said, through the lawful harmony of the world.
Yeah, I would agree that God of the simulator or whatever the supreme being or beings reveal themselves through the physics. They're creators of this existence, and it's incumbent upon us to try to understand more about this wondrous creation.
who created this thing, who's running this thing. Like embodying it into a singular question with a sexy word on top of it is like focusing the mind to understand. It does seem like there's a, again, it could be an illusion. It seems like there's a purpose, that there's an underlying master plan of some kind. And it seems like
there may not be a master plan in the sense, so there's like maybe an interesting answer to the question of determinism versus free will is that if we are in a simulation, the reason that these higher beings would hold a simulation is to see what happens.
Mhm.
So it's not, they don't know what happens. Otherwise they wouldn't hold the simulation.
Mhm.
So when humans create a simulation, so at SpaceX and Tesla, we create simulations all the time. Especially for the rocket, you have to run a lot of simulations to understand what's going to happen, because you can't really test the rocket until it goes to space, and you want it to work. So you have to simulate subsonic, transonic, supersonic, hypersonic ascent, and then coming back, super high heating and orbital dynamics. All this is going to be simulated. So because you don't get very many kicks at the can. But we run the simulations to see what happens. Not if we knew what happens, we wouldn't run the simulation.
Mhm.
So if there's, so whoever created this existence is, they're running it because they don't know what's going to happen, not because they do.
And also too, guys, just something to note, and I did mention this in a previous video, but just to recap, OpenAI did apply and get their patents for GPT-5 and GPT-6 and GPT-7, and they also got it for the GPT store. You can see here, here's all their patents right here. You have Whisper, Codex, GPT, ChatGPT, GPT-3, and they got GPT-4 right before they, launched it, March 13th. Right here for GPT-5, they got it in July 18th, and GPT-6, they got it in October 20th, and GPT-7, they got it in October 20th. So that's actually before they even launched the GPT store on November 14th. So maybe there was this big breakthrough. Maybe they realized that, hey, GPT-5 is probably going to be at that point where it can build GPT-6 or really just help us build GPT-6, and then GPT-6 is going to build GPT-7. Maybe that's the case, right? Or maybe they just wanted to get the patents early. There's really two options, probably. They just wanted to get the patents early and we're just overlooking into this. Or maybe there's, something that happened where they thought that these two new models, GPT-6 and GPT-7, would be coming a lot sooner than expected. All right. So that's just a little side note here, and do with it what you may. So let's just imagine this whole theory about the God of Spinoza is real, and, the universe revealing itself through the laws of physics or whatnot. Imagine if AI is just part of the creation, part of the God of Spinoza revealing itself, and eventually is going to reach this singularity. And who even knows what happens at the singularity? Does it consume the whole universe? Does it get to the point where it can create its own universes and have simulation theory? It's a large topic to talk about, and I don't want to make this video too long, guys, but I just wanted to spark some different creative juices and ideas potentially. I'm not saying I believe every single little thing we've covered here. These are just different ideas, and I want to give you guys some, different creative ideas that maybe you can help paint the pieces, put the pieces together as well. I want to know what your thoughts are in the comments down below. I'm still learning about all these different concepts and things and just seeing things unfold. But I really do find this stuff interesting, and I just can't stop thinking about it. All right, guys. So I hope you guys really enjoyed this video. I just spent the last 4 hours putting it together. I'm really trying to upgrade the content quality, like I mentioned as well this whole last week. I didn't post for about 3 or 4 days because I've been really revamping my content creation process, streamlining the whole process. I got a really, really cool system, so I'm excited to keep getting some good high quality content out to you guys. And if you liked it, make sure to smash that subscribe button, turn on post notifications to stay up to date with all the new AI news, business news, entrepreneur news, etc. Drop a like on this video and comment down your thoughts below about this topics about Sam, topics about simulation theory, God of Spinoza, as well as anything else you may think of. Also, too, guys, if you haven't already joined our free AI and entrepreneur community, you can do so at stridecommunity.com. A link to that will be in the description below. You can network with like-minded individuals, talk to myself, talk to different people, and I'm going to be posting a lot of free resources for AI, GPTs, and just business growth and life growth in general. How to use AI to better your business, to better your life, to better your relationships, because I've been using it in so many ways for the last year, since it came out and even before then. All right, also too, guys, free 6-day challenge to accelerate your stride. A link for that will be in the description below. I will be dropping that soon, probably either before the end of this year or at the start of the new year. It's going to be really game changing for you guys if you are in business and want to learn how to leverage AI in a practical sense. All right, guys. So I really hope you enjoyed this video. And I'm looking forward to you guys being a part of this channel, being a part of this community, and for us all growing together. And I hope I can better your life with AI, better your business. All right, guys. So I will see you in the next video. Keep hustling, keep grinding. And of course, guys, accelerate your stride. Take care.